Hello, team. Welcome to another weekly sales meeting. This is a very special weekly sales meeting. Today's March 1st. We're celebrating a record month in the month of February. Really, truly incredible finish here, doubling what we did in January and 50% greater than our previous record month in the month of December. So incredible growth, but more than anything, team effort. This was, from the loan setup team to the processing team to the closer team to the post-closing team, post-funding team. Everybody made a huge contribution. Of course, loan originators, LOAs, everybody doing their part to make sure we're bringing in those loans, we're delivering a great experience for our clients. So thank you. And this is just the start. We're happy about what we did in February, but we're going to do it again in March. That's the focus. That's what we're always focused on, is how do we do more? How do we get better? And that's where we're going. So rest of the industry is, in a decline. The rest of the industry doesn't have momentum. We're having record months every month. We're growing with the right people, but more than anything, we're getting better together as a team. So I want to talk about execution creates expectations. This is a really important one. We've talked about it this week. As many of you know, we have our Relationships, Not Transactions Summit going on yesterday and today. It's been unbelievable. Really excited to spend this time with everybody. But we talked about this. Execution creates expectations. And what does that mean? Understanding that, like, when you execute, your customer, your partners, your team members expect you to continue to be great. They expect you to continue to do certain things. And what the reality of the situation is, this is like what you did that used to make your customer happy or your team member happy or your partner happy. Once you execute on it and it's just like, it just works, they expect that. So that they become, to a degree, they don't appreciate it as much. They're looking for more value. It just works. So why would they, if the process is not good, if the experience is not good, yeah, of course they would expect you to get better at it. But when it works and it's great and the outcomes are great, they just expect it to work. And the reality of the situation is this: is we have to learn that's human nature. That's human nature in relationships. That's human nature in business. And we have to understand that just like you expect UMortgage to have a great process and a great client experience and great marketing and great, business development, just like you expect those things because we've executed time and time again for you on those things. Our partners are real estate agents, borrowers in our community, consumers in our community, our accountants, like the people that drive our business, the people that refer business to us, they already expect you to do certain things well. So you got to find new ways to add value. You got to find new ways to create reciprocal value so you stand out even more. Because if you're just great at the things you were great at 6 months ago, that's not going to be enough to keep a relationship. Like right now, what are we learning? Everybody's slow. Real estate agents are slow. Loan officers are slow. So what are we seeing? Every week we got 100 to 200 LOs on our weekly recruiting call. Why are that many people on there? They're shopping around. The value proposition of their current company is no longer what it once was. They're trying to see if there's a better platform over there. They're making that, they're going through that process. Your realtors are doing the same thing. They're like, hey, listen, it's great that you're great at transactions and you do the transaction management really, really well. But at the end of the day, if you're not adding value to me, if you're not helping me build my business, if you're not showing me new ways or teaching me new ways to grow my business, then I need to find that value out there in the world. So that's what the whole focus of this session has been these last 2 days, is like creating reciprocal value, making sure we're getting better every day, and understanding that execution creates expectations is a good thing. The more you execute and the better you are at things, the more valuable you are. But you can't be a one-trick pony. You can't just be a transactional agent. That's not the goal. So, to me, it's all about getting better every day. It's all about making sure we're doing what it takes, getting the feedback, asking our customers, asking our partners, asking our team members how we can get better, and then evaluating their feedback, evaluating their pain points, evaluating what they say they need to get better and to grow, and then implementing that into everything we're doing every single day. So the Get Better Everyday mindset is all about our partners. The Get Better Everyday mindset is all about our team members. The Get Better Everyday mindset is all about our customers. So we got to get better. We got to add more value. And the more value we create, the more invaluable we are. When you create value, when you provide value, you become invaluable. But it can't just be one thing. So that's our mindset. That's our focus. I can't wait to share more takeaways with everybody throughout the week and next week from this summit. And I'm going to hand it off and I'll be back soon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Andrew Cady with the Epic Mortgage team here in Florida. I want to talk to you today about chasing down listing agents. What an industry we work in, where almost every transaction we have, there's another real estate agent tied to the backside. And honestly, from my experience, it's one of the biggest misses that loan officers have is not properly addressing a listing agent to get their future business. So I want to talk a little bit about my game plan and how we do it. The first thing that we like to do is called the triple threat. What we do is immediately we get a contract in, the very first thing we do is call the listing agent. I call them before I call the buyer to congratulate them, or the buyer's agent. Call the listing agent. Hey, Johnny, I'm the lender on 123 Any Street. I just got a copy of the contract. Wanted to give you a call, introduce myself to you, make sure that you have my cell phone, and ask them if they have any questions. Ask them if what their expectations are of the transaction, and kind of get to know them on an initial 5-minute call. As soon as you get off that call, shoot them a text message with your contact card or all of your contact information. Say, hey, just as a follow-up, here's my contact information. If you need anything throughout the transaction, don't hesitate to reach out. The third thing I do is the following day or that evening, depending on what time the contract comes in, I send that listing agent an email. Very similar to the conversation I had. It was a pleasure speaking with you today. I look forward to working together on 123 Any Street. Below is a list of our niche products or our services. And I kind of build out what I would call like a mortgage resume. Here's the products we specialize in. Here's the things we do. Here's our average clear to close time. Here's a link to our reviews. You really want to set the stage that you're a professional on day one of this transaction. And then I want to move to follow-up. Follow-up is everything. I personally, it's up to you how you want to do it. I take the listing agent off of the email communications like milestone emails. I like to make those as phone calls. So for me, my touch points for a listing agent is going to be day one. As soon as we get that contract, it's a phone call from me. The second phone call from me is going to be at conditional approval. We're going to walk through any conditions on the file. And I'm not going to explain them in detail. I'm just going to walk through and be like, hey, I've reviewed the conditions. Nothing really seems out of sorts here. There's no real red flags. Everything's looking really smooth for closing. That's second phone call in the transaction. The third phone call is going to be at appraisal. Obviously, reach out to your buyer's agent first. Make sure that they're not negotiating repairs or terms in the contract. If your appraisal's back within the inspection window, you don't want to let the real estate agent or the listing agent know that you've got an appraisal back at value with no repairs if your buyer's agent's still working on negotiating repairs. You don't want to tip the hat to that. So talk to your buyer's agent, make sure you're good to. Reach out to the listing agent. Hey, Johnny, just wanted to let you know we got the appraisal back for 123 Any Street. Came back at value or came back with sufficient value. No repairs noted on it. We're moving along on the conditions. Everything's looking good. We expect to be closing on time, if not being ready a few weeks earlier, a few days early. The next phone call is at clear to close. Call the buyer, congratulate them, call the buyer's agent, call the listing agent. Hey, just wanted to let you know, I know we've got closing scheduled for a week and a half from now, but we're clear to close. This is, where the way we try to do things. We try to be really fast and upfront to allow you to sleep better the last week of your transaction, knowing there's going to be no last minute hiccups. We'll have the package at title. Everything's going to be good to go. And then the one email that I like to send, including the listing agent, is the night before closing. I like to send an email to the listing agent, buyer's agent, title, and buyer. And it's kind of a corny little email. 'Twas the night before closing and the funds are at closing. Here's the Fed reference number. Here's everything you need. We look forward to a smooth closing tomorrow. And then call that listing agent 2 to 3 days after closing and ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your experience working with me, my team, however you're set up? How would you rate your experience working with us on a scale of 1 to 10? If that listing agent says anything other than a 9 or 10, immediately turn that conversation and be like, wow, a 7. I hate to hear it. What did we mess up on? How could we have done better? Immediately own it and listen, because they're sitting on the other side of the transaction. They can provide you valuable information. Most people are going to say a 9 or a 10. And that's your moment. You reach out and say, hey, I'd love to have a meeting with you. I understand you're primarily a listing agent, but listings bring buyers and I'd love to work with your buyers. How does next Tuesday at 10 a.m. sound? If you don't get that meeting, there's one more follow-up I do, and that's 2 weeks after closing, making sure everything's settled out on their end. They've got their commission check. Everything's happy. Get on the phone with listing agents. Get away from being behind your computer Automated emails are great, but automated emails lack a human touch. Even an automated email with a video in it isn't the same as you physically picking the phone up and call them. I say these things because I want you to implement this in your business. So many people hear these type of things and they get all excited, like, I'm going to do it, and then they don't do it. So don't be that person. Get out there and implement these changes and watch your business grow. There's a reason in 2020, I closed 406 transactions. Tracking that back, nearly 30% of my business came from real estate agents I worked with that were the listing agent on a transaction I started on. So that's my tip for you today. Thanks for your time and have a wonderful day.
Hi everyone, Kahren Oxner with the Pacific Northwest team here, and I wanted to spend some time with you today talking about real estate agents and communication. So it is so important to have really effective communication when you're speaking and communicating with your realtor partners, because our goal is to build rapport, build trust, and connect with these professionals so that we can work well together. So the first trick and tip that I like to use when I'm speaking with my real estate partners is a technique called mirroring. Now, mirroring is so important for so many reasons. And basically what you want to do is essentially match the cadence, the pitch, the tone, the volume of your voice with the person that you are communicating with. So if you're meeting with a real estate agent and they are energetic and loud and boisterous and full of energy, you want to mirror or match that same energy so that you can build comfort and rapport. In the same token, if you're meeting with a realtor partner who is more subdued, a little bit more laid back, maybe a little bit quieter, more reserved, you want to mirror that behavior as well, because if you come in strong like you did in the first example, you'd probably overwhelm that person and end up having a really crummy meeting and not building rapport and trust. The other technique that you can do while mirroring is to repeat the last 3 words of the sentence that the person that you're listening to states. So if they say, you know, it is a really tough market out there right now, I'm just not sure what I'm going to do this quarter, you could say, you know, I understand it's been a really tough market. I agree. I know what we could do together next quarter. So using the last 3 words or even the last phrase of what they've shared with you is a technique in mirroring that will help you let that person know that you're actively listening, that you're showing empathy and building rapport, loyalty, and trust in that conversation. So it's a really, really effective way to bond with that individual and really build trust. Another thing that you can do to also let them know that you're really actively listening is to always ask open-ended questions. So instead of saying, hey, are you struggling in the market right now? Or hey, is your business great? Those are closed-ended questions that really only allow the person to say yes or no. Open-ended questions allow them to explain themselves, really communicate their desires, needs, wishes, hopes, and dreams with you so that you can extract that information and utilize that again to build rapport. So that is really, really important. So showing empathy, active listening, mirroring, matching that cadence. These are all some really effective tools and strategies that you can do to gain trust and build relationships with your realtor partner. It's really important to practice these things as well. So a call to action to all of you today is, get with a loan officer partner, get with your accountability person, get with your manager, and really practice these things so you too can become a really effective communicator, build rapport, and build great relationships with all your referral partners. Have a great day, everyone.
What's up, you fam? Keena Gehringer here from Charlotte, North Carolina with the Raleigh branch. And I was asked to provide a quick rundown on the process of my community outreach events and how I incorporate my referral partners. I love getting my agents involved in community outreach and planning events as well, but I also allow my love for giving back to the community to be a connector between myself and my local realtor partners. In the past, I kept the planning process super simple. I chose a Saturday morning, I picked a local restaurant, selected a team of friends and family to help me organize and market the event, and then we would come up with items we wanted to distribute or menu items that we wanted to serve the local homeless. Not only have we served lunch bags, we have prepared packages with hygiene items, snacks, scarves, gloves, and socks as well. Once we prepare the packages with all of our volunteers, we always make sure we have an encouraging note included. If children are in attendance, you can have them decorate the lunch bags too. Once the package is prepared, we deliver the items to the homeless, men, children, and women all around Uptown Charlotte. And the experience is absolutely heartwarming every single time. Within the last year, I have officially started my own nonprofit organization, and we have hosted very successful community events. And I continue to invite my referral partners and keep them engaged as well. The lunch bag event is super fun, it's easy, and it's a great way to give back and get your referral partners and their families involved too. The first years, we kept it very simple, but now we tend to add entertainment, we get vendors, and we provide food for our volunteers as well. You should do it. It always makes a huge impact, and your partners and your volunteers will feel so fulfilled and remember you as someone that initiated that feeling. I encourage you to start now. Pick a place, select a need in your community, start posting about your event. Keep it simple and just have fun with it. I promise it is a great way to connect with your community, especially with your referral partners, and being recognized as a change maker. If you have any questions or if you need help planning your next community outreach event, just give me a shout.
Good morning, UMortgage family. I'm excited today to share with you all a very simple strategy that I've been using for my social media engagement. It helps me intentionally engage. It's very time effective and efficient, which to me is super important. I love to find efficient ways to do things. So this is going to help prevent you from scrolling social media and scrolling and wasting hours of your day just looking at TikToks and Reels and social media posts. So here's the strategy. The first thing you want to do is identify your target audience, who you're trying to interact with, who are the people that you want to engage with the most. It may be real estate agents, it may be other referral partners or loan officers that you're potentially recruiting. I have folders for all these different categories. So one way to get new friends is to just search the word realtor in the little search box. And if you have mutual friends, just start adding them as a friend. The number one thing you can do on social media is build your sphere of influence. So add as many friends as you can, follow as many people as you can. You're going to build your sphere. Now, once a real estate agent or a loan officer has accepted my friend request, I'm going to open up their page to view their profile where you can see their recent posts and add them as a bookmark in Google Chrome. You want to make sure you add that bookmark to a folder, a labeled folder, again, call it realtors. Now that you've added them to that folder, you're going to be able to add 10, 15, 20 people in the same folder called realtors or real estate agents. And that's going to allow you to easily go back to it on a regular basis. You might want to do this every day, every week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Pick whichever cadence feels good for you. And when you log into Google Chrome, first thing in the morning or in the afternoon or middle of the day, I do this multiple times throughout the week at different times of day so it doesn't feel as repetitive. What I'll do is open up Google Chrome, right-click the folder, and hit Open All in a new window, and it's going to open every single page that you have in that bookmark folder. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 through 20, and these are all the real estate agents that I'm about to interact with. Now I start on one tab, see if they have any recent posts. If they have something interesting that I want to interact and I want to engage with, I'll comment on it, I'll like it, I'll send them a message, I'll see if they have a story recently posted, and then I'll close it and move on to the next one. And so within a 15 or 20 minute period, I can interact with a high number, high impact, high velocity activity of interacting and building relationships with referral partners or people that I want to interact with on social media. So again, it's very intentional, a lot better than just scrolling and hoping you see their posts. A lot of times I see posts that I never would have seen on my feed anyways. And by engaging with them on a regular cadence, they start to see my stuff as well. So they start to see my posts, they interact with my posts, and we're building something called affinity. In social media, your affinity is how often you see each other's content. It has to do with, the relationship between you and the other person. So at the end of the day, this is really all about being efficient, time management, and being able to build a relationship with the people that you actually want to start building a relationship with. So be intentional with your social media time. Use this strategy. Again, it's super simple. I will record a Loom video for everybody to kind of walk you through it, show you exactly how to use it in Google Chrome. Again, it's super simple. And once you start doing this, you'll realize how much your social media game improves just by being a little more intentional with it.
Great job, everybody. This has been a great weekly sales meeting, great energy, and I love seeing what everybody's doing to get better this week. I'm going to go ahead and talk about one major thing we presented during the Relationships Not Transactions Summit, and that's all about the +1 effect. And the +1 effect is understanding you can be great at something, but how do you go above and beyond? How do you take it to another level to go even further, to go even deeper, to make sure you're differentiating in a whole different way? So, we did this exercise. We're asking you like, hey, how do you attract your clients? What do you do? And then how would you do it +1? Are you on TikTok? Are you, are you making it personalized? Are you taking your automations and you turning it into a more personalized experience? Like, what are you doing to add that +1? And we talk about it like customer acquisition. We talked about it from a client engagement perspective. How are you engaging with your client during the experience? Are you just letting automated emails drive the transaction? Are you sitting there making a call, giving updates, providing that certainty, recording a Loom video to go over disclosures? Like, how are you taking it to the next level? And then the +1, of course, is how do you retain? What are you doing to create that new value to go above and beyond for your clients to really show them that you got something extra? And that's the obsession, is the +1 mindset. We think about it constantly. And we have a lot of different mechanisms that we look at to identify ways we get better. We've got Report Up to identify how we can, create policies or improve policies to get better, or create, better procedures, or dial in our procedures and processes to make sure that, everybody's getting the best experience possible. We got LOMPS and MPS to make sure we're finding ways to enhance our experience for our loan originators and our customers and their partners. These are all the different mechanisms that we look at to find that +1. What is that +1? Okay, you got uncertainty at this point in the process. We're going to call you to give you that certainty. We're going to make that one of the process. We're going to put that procedure in place and make it part of our process. Oh, you want to know updates on a daily basis on where your loans are in different parts of the process for your realtor, and you want that email to go out to the realtor? Okay, great. We're going to create that automation. We're going to make sure they get it. We're going to make sure the open rate's high and there's engagement there. Like that +1, the people that obsess over that +1 win in all markets. The people that obsess over that +1 are recession proof. And that's what we're focused on. What's our business today? The housing market, okay? Mortgage interest rates are not impacting UMortgage. UMortgage just doubled its volume January to February. UMortgage just did 50% higher volume in funded units than its previous record month 2 months ago. This market is creating UMortgage. We thrive in this environment. We're getting better as the chaos and as the market worsens. What does that tell you? We're recession proof because we're doing the +1s. We're getting better every day. We're focused on our team member. We're focused on our customer. We're focused on our partners, and we're focused on our loan officers. And that's what matters. That's why we got that +1 mentality. That's why we're getting better every day. And that's why we're growing in a shrinking market. Last thing I want to hit on is Relationships Not Transactions Summit yesterday and today. Great opportunity to spend these couple of days with our team members, with our loan originators, a lot of relationship time, and a lot of takeaways that I can't wait to share with everybody. But one thing we did was our advisory council. And our advisory council is our first advisory council. It's our 2023 UMortgage Advisory Council. It's made up of our loan officers. We got 14 loan originators on this advisory council, and I'll share the names of all those team members with everybody later this week. But we met with them. We had a great 2-hour session, talked about all the things we can get better. And it was really constructive. It's focused, hey, how can we improve the loan setup process? How can we improve our communication throughout the loan process as a whole to make sure we're even better for the customer, for you, for the loan originator, and for their partners? We went through everything possible. How can we enhance our tech stack? I mean, we really got into the weeds. And guess what we learned? There's a lot of opportunities for us to get better. We might be doing great, but where we're at today doesn't matter. It's all about where we're going. It's all about taking it to the next level. And the commitment I saw from our advisory council members was like, they came prepared. They're like, hey, listen, we know this is a commitment. If I'm going to be on the advisory council, I represent, the 350 plus loan originators at UMortgage. I got to help the company get better. I got to make sure I'm representing them, communicating opportunities for improvement, and making sure that we're in a position that when we meet quarterly, we're taking it to the next level each and every quarter. So it's been a great summit. I can't wait to share all that information with you and all those takeaways with you. But, these meetings, these sessions, these events, this is where we find out who wants to win, who's fully committed to win, who's doing what it takes to help us get better. So my challenge to everybody at UMortgage is like, hey, we're going to be doing these again. We're going to do another one next quarter and the following quarter. Like, take the opportunity to come meet with your fellow team members, to come engage, to come be part of what we're doing and give the feedback to help us get better, because that's the only way for us all to win as a team. Have a great day and talk to you guys soon.